week, we are talking of Emily Bronte's great
Wuthering Heights is filled with violence, incest, necrophilia, and you shouldn't read it. Or maybe that is exactly why you should read it. Published in 1847, it wasn't well received by the early critics. They called it compound of vulgar depravity and unnatural horrors. Some were even shocked how a human being could have attempted such a book without committing suicide. But then comes 2007, where a poll conducted by UK TV drama featured Wuthering Heights as the greatest love story in the English literature, ahead of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice and Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. So, what exactly is Wuthering Heights? A love story or a book of savages? Well, it's a bit of both, but mostly the latter. The central theme of the novel undoubtedly is about the lead characters, Catherine, Heathcliff, and the destructive obsession they have for each other, but that's just a mirage. Wuthering Heights is also about many other things besides that relationship. Set in the 18th century moorlands of West Yorkshire, Wuthering Heights tells the tale of revenge, and while on it, also explores the human psyche and the class structure of the Victorian period. But anything that connected the novel and its writer to the real world was swept under the rug for almost a century. And the first culprit was Emily's own sister. In order to get acceptance for the novel by the Victorian society, Charlotte presented Emily as someone completely detached from the real world, an ethereal Emily who only loves her moors and her pet. Which is not true at all, given the fact that Emily not only had great interest in the stock markets, but she even managed and invested her own and her siblings' money in the railway shares, which were somewhat like cryptocurrency of the mid 19th century. Unfortunately, she could neither witness her investments flourish nor her novel get wide acclaim. She died with her drawer full of negative reviews of her only novel. The reason for the early disparaging reviews stems primarily from the fact that the novel doesn't contain a single likable character.
God, they're the most insufferable human beings.
And
It was like
everybody's
being in the
slapping
Big
each
Brother
other.
house. It was like being trapped in the Big Brother house.
Where Charlotte's Jane Eyre makes the readers root for the leading lady from the very beginning, Wuthering Heights, on the other hand, has an exact opposite effect. Since every character in the novel comes across as selfish and morally corrupt, though this makes them appear more realistic and human, but ironically, it also drives the readers away, making it difficult to sympathize with them. Then there is also the narrative structure, which only adds to the complexity. The story is unraveled through multiple narrators in what is called embedded narrative technique. A story within a story, where a character within a story becomes the narrator of another story. In Wuthering Heights, the story is primarily narrated to the readers by Lockwood, who in turn gets to know the story from Nellie Jean. But both of them have their own biases and flaws as an observer, making them unreliable and the story even more complex. Despite of all their scathing disapproval, the Victorian critics couldn't help but acknowledge the power within the novel's prose. It is only Bronte's exemplary prose writing that some of the recent critiques even put Wuthering Heights on the same league as John Milton's Paradise Lost. But the question remains, why you should read Wuthering Heights? Because Heathcliff is hot.